Give us your name
Okay,
and
my
role.
name is Jesse Brodd, and I am talent buyer and marketer and partner of Nobool Presents. And we buy talent and market many different venues and festivals across the Twin Cities in Minnesota.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about those venues and
Sure,
festivals?
we have our main venue is the Hook and Ladder Event Center, which has multiple stages. It has a theater stage capacity about 300. We have a Zen Arcade, which is a can of forward lounge and stage. So it's a combination with an awesome open garage door that can open up to the patio. And then we have an under the canopy, which is a outdoor courtyard that we set up a tent in and do anywhere from reserved seating to capacity of about 500. So total capacity in the wintertime when the venue's open, it's about 600. And in the summertime, it can go just a little bit more than that if, uh, in and out.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit like pre-open date and then
Yeah.
post-open date here. So I'd love to hear maybe like what was the like how did you find open date? What was the challenges you were facing? Like what drove you to seek out something like open date? We just kind of love to hear the before we
Yeah.
talk
I
about the
mean, the
after.
before, we were at Eventbrite and before that, Ticketfly. And the problem we were having is after the pandemic, there was just no customer support. And it was really hard to get in touch with folks. And when we had issues, it was a tough sell, and it was a tough run. So the most important thing that we were looking for as well is if we're going to make an upgrade, we want to make an upgrade in some other departments as well. So, here we were paying a lot for e-marketing, we're paying a lot for ticketing, we're paying a lot for and spending a lot of time on creating handmade offers. And so trying to find something like any business is trying to do these days is trying to consolidate use of your apps to create some sort of efficiency for the team. And so I was seeking efficiency for marketing and talent buying.
Love that. That's really good. What was your kind of first reaction when you found open
My
date?
first reaction of open date when I found open date was pretty jaw dropping, because I didn't couldn't believe that somebody finally had connected the dots in terms of talent buying offers and connecting the ticketing directly to those documents, and then being able to have it be connected for my ticketing team. It made a lot of errors also go away. And so just having that, like when I first found open date, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I can have offers connected to my ticketing. Like I was shocked that that could even be possible. And I knew it was possible, and I was looking for it. And and I got the call or the email, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh, this is what I've been looking for. And I immediately reached out, or responded, I should say. Normally, I don't
That's
respond to
all.
cold calls and ticketing people. I mean, I get them in my email box all the time, but I was actively searching for efficiency and then happened to click on it. And I'm like, I think this is going to work for us. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Lots of lessons there for open date
Oh, yeah.
as well. You mentioned, Ticketfly, Eventbrite, kind of your ticketing providers, but you also mentioned like using e-marketing platforms, other different types of platforms and consolidation. That's, nailed it.
Yep.
That's what we want to do. Can you tell me like how difficult or not difficult, and then want the honest feedback here, was the actual implementation of that consolidation? Like how was the process of going from multiple platforms,
Yeah.
getting everything onto open date? How
Well,
did
I
that go?
would say it's going great, and I don't think anybody who expects a wholesale change like that to happen overnight, they're mistaken. This is something that takes time, and when you have a whole team and you're doing, I don't know, 400 or 500 shows a year, you still have to do the 400 or 500 shows, and you have to systematically get through it. There's a lot of different accounting nuances and connectivity and domain registry. It's just a lot that happens. I mean, so to be honest, we're still switching over. We're still fully integrating our e-marketing with OpenDate, and now I'm working with David on the website and getting that more efficient, so that, hey, my ticketing person only has to put up one show instead of three shows or whatever, and having it integrate with bands in town and all this other stuff, so the efficiency continues to be worked on, and we're still not fully, but that's not open date. That's on me and my team. But we just, we're skeleton crew running a lot of stuff, and we just took the time to first go into, let's integrate these offers, get rid of Excel. Now let's integrate settlement with the offers with the team. Okay, cool. Let's do this for one venue. Then let's do it for two venues. Now let's add the new feature of multiple rooms and stages. Let's create a new venue and get that all synced up. Okay, now we're probably ready to integrate e-marketing, and especially like the buybacks and just announced, and the buyback, and all the automated campaigns that come with it, and then we integrated our broadcasts, because now we could, so once we got a handle on each step, then I progressively moved it through, to get to where we are now. So, again, I'm
Just
working, I'm still trying to get the website going for Neva and ready for Neva to showcase, more of what Open Day can do, and also showcase our venue. So, and that's not an easy lift either, redoing a website. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's really smart. Sounds like you've really taken a crawl, walk,
yeah,
run approach, which I think, yeah, it doesn't all have to
that
happen
is,
at once. It's not a light switch you're
yeah,
flipping on.
exactly. But it helped doing it that way too, because then it was
Cool.
like, okay, you know, you know, going from one ticket platform to another, it was a nice way to do it, because we have these different rooms, so we were able to kind of go, okay, this year we're going to use this new ticketing platform for Under the Canopy while our contract ran out. So one of the most important things was how cool Open Date was with my expiring contract. So as my contract was expiring, I was able to launch some other events, that were kind of not under that contract at other venues or new venues to test out the platform. And then lo and behold, by the time the contract ran out on our biggest venue, we were really ready to handle Open Date and knew exactly how to use it. And so therefore then it worked really well for us. Jump right in, to the main venue might have been, I'm not sure how that experience would have been, but our experience of the kind of the transition and the overlap and the feathering of all the venues worked really well. And you were very cool with Open Air was very cool with allowing our transition, because you understood that, we were under contract and nobody wants to violate those contracts.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's great to hear. How would you kind of quantify the impact that Open Date has had for you? Is it time savings? Is it selling more tickets, booking more events? Like, how would you kind of prove the investment in Open Date has
Yeah,
been
I
worth
would
it?
say accuracy of, so we save money on accuracy. Time was definitely saved in terms of developing offers and then having them directly relate to the ticketing team. I would say settlement for managers is extraordinarily save time and hassle for them, and making it easy for somebody who's on site running a venue to then go into numbers. So my trust factor goes up with how it was all handled. I know that the settlements are done right, so I don't have to wake up, or not wake up, or stay up or whatever 1 a.m. Sometimes it's one or the other to approve a settlement. And I was having, I was having to do that for years. So me not having to do that and know that my team is in good hands with the application is just, so, sleep, how important is that? Very, and peace of mind, how important is that? Super important. And then I'd say, like, the booking calendar too is like, it's so much easier for me to have multiple holds and multiple rooms and see what's going on in terms of, the competition, so we put the competition on the calendar. And so I can see the competition side by side with what we're booking, all the different rooms and venues. And it's just such a great layout, and when a bit for my ability to see what's really going on, see where we are in the stages of the launches. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to turn these things, for my calendar, it's purple, got to turn it purple, right? And okay, we got to get it to blue, and we don't like yellow, and so the team is always looking ahead in the forecasting, and just trying to make sure that we're getting the shows up, and that's a real helpful tool as well. And then all the metrics that come with it, So the reporting and the metrics and the features, like giving ticket counts to agents, super easy to do. How they're off my back. Getting my own reporting in to telling me how many tickets I've sold in a day and what's going on in terms of my overall picture is really important. And so those metrics continue to have me, work harder, smarter, and so therefore I'm selling more tickets because I just know what's going on. It's very visible, it's very clear, and I have the tools at my fingertips as well. Okay, let's create an email marketing broadcast to send this out and sell some more tickets. So, and it's directly linked and correlated. And as I'm getting the pixels and everything associated with this stuff, the reporting is starting to come in terms of, hey, this meta advertisement sold this many tickets. This thing is working with this. This email send sold this many tickets. And then it just goes to show that you can work smarter, and it's showing me that. And so that's a time saver and a money maker.
That's awesome. And that's the first time I've heard the quantification in terms of hours of
Yeah.
sleep, which is
Oh,
awesome. Like literally making your life
for
easier. That's
sure.
incredible.
For sure. It's definitely makes my life easier. And it's just more efficient, and I'm doing better bookings because of it too. Because I can really see what I got. Like, oh,
That's
that's gonna be a good book, or that's sometimes we have it where we're like, okay, that's a nice local gig, a nice local booking, and because we want to help the community. We're here for the community. And so, sometimes we have community and local bookings that we want to kind of have our community thrive in. And then other times, we have national acts or bigger party shows that, help us generate revenue to stay in business. So not every show is about full on revenue for us. And so I can kind of see that at a glance. And then the other thing that it's helped us too is the rental aspect. So
yeah,
marking these things as rentals and getting rental invoices out, half of our business is rentals. So having that integrated into the calendar is, helps my team understand what's going on. Why is that showed up? Oh, that's a rental. That's the rental side of our business. So we have two sides of our business: rentals and talent buying. And so when you get to that point, oh, okay, that's the rental department. It may or may not need to be announced 3 months in advance or 2 months in advance, like we want our concerts and events being launched and announced. So, and that's a really cool. The rental feature is really cool. Yeah.
that's awesome. Okay, what's it like working with the Open Date team? I think you referenced it
Yeah.
lightly earlier, but can you just share a little bit about
Yeah. I
partnering with
mean, the
Open
open
Date?
day team's been awesome. I mean, when we need something, we're very, open date's been very responsive. Open Day has been very supportive of, like the technology that we need specifically to our business. They've made some adjustments to help our business thrive inside of their app, which is pretty cool. When I've requested certain things, it's gone into the production, and I love seeing the improvements. So, updates of an application is wonderful. One of the things was missing in the past was no updates. Nothing's getting better. It's just like somebody was taking my money. And I feel that Open Date is making improvements and has great customer support to allow us to grow together and to sell more tickets together. And it is a partnership like that, because if I sell more tickets and you sell more, we're we're in it together, and I feel that. And so that's really important for me and my team, because so much of stuff right now is robotics and AIs. And, you know, it's nice to just be able to, email Alex or David and be a part of it, and work with, now, Shiloh, and, have the customer support team there. And it gets done fairly quickly too. So
That's awesome. Great to hear. What would you say to anybody who's kind of, considering the same consolidation that led you down the path of
I
Open Date?
would say Open Date's an amazing choice to give me a call first, so then I can make a referral.
I like it. They win. You win when they win, right? Everybody wins.
Uh, Yeah, no, I would endorse Open Date 100% over anything else. I mean, obviously, I'm not using anything else, so I can't, you know. But I would say that my experience with Open Date is has been amazing, and it's transformed our company, and we are a better live event business than we were before Open Date.
That's fantastic. So good to hear. Anything else that I didn't ask you about, or anything else you want to share before
Yeah,
we
I mean,
stop
it just
recording here?
all the features are super cool. I love like the time ticket entry. I've used that a couple times. We love the add-on features. We sell cabanas and like covered tables in the summer, and folks can add that on. Or sometimes we do an after party, and you can add on the after party. And we love the add-on features, and the round up feature is great. Keeping our ticket sales like at a nice rounded dollar amount at the door is super important, considering they don't print pennies anymore. You know,
Right.
it's kind of important. And so just all the features, I just want to say like all the features of Open Date are amazing, and they keep working on more features. So every day, every week, I get an alert about a new feature and something improvement. And that to me gives me a good feeling that I'm working with a company that cares.